Hey guys, I'm Moxie Bug. Welcome back to my channel. I am getting ready to go out, so I thought I'd do my makeup while I chatted with you. It snowed today, which is very exciting because as always, I live in Georgia, and so it's always a surprise when it snows, and you just never know when it's going to happen and if it's going to stick around. And um, so this snow is still on the ground right now. It doesn't look like it's gonna last much longer though. And yeah, I just woke up to a message saying it's snowing, and I looked outside and it was definitely coming down. So I started my morning by having tea and sitting outside and watching the snowfall, which is a lovely way to start the day for growing up in the South and living in Georgia for my entire life. I am not a summer kid. I'm not a fan of the heat. It definitely makes me grumpy. I much rather have it cold. Snow is magical to me. And sunshine is just humid and unbearable. And it makes me very grumpy. So I love this weather and I'm very excited about it. And I always look forward to snow days. So yeah, I have a friend's birthday party to go to and another friend's going away party to go to. The same ones who were leaving last week are still leaving. I don't know why. They haven't changed their mind yet. One thing I will say for the anti-snowers, because in Georgia you do have people who hate this kind of weather. I will say on their behalf, Georgia is not prepared. Our traffic and roads are not prepared for this weather, so it is kind of daunting when it starts snowing because you can feel like you're going to be trapped in your house forever because all the roads are going to just be deadlocked and you won't be able to get anywhere. I was one of those when Snowmageddon hit Georgia in 2013, I think is when it happened. I was definitely caught in my car for 5.5 hours, I think is how long it took me to get home. And I actually had one of the shorter commutes that day. It was miserable. I absolutely cried in my car. And there was for the whole last hour, the way where I live, like the apartment complex I lived in, you crossed this bridge before you actually got to it, so you could see the complex before you got there. So I sat and could see my home for a full hour before I could actually get there, which was just torture. It was miserable. That was a horrible experience. With my and I just wanted to get home to my dog, and I was hungry and I was cold. Yeah, it was rough. One of my roommates just gave up and walked home because that's just how bad the traffic is. I know other people who hitchhike because, as they point out, like that was the safest time to hitchhike because no one could take you anywhere. Like they're not going to be able to snatch you off and drag you anywhere. You're just all stuck on the road together. So they did a little bit of hitchhiking and a little bit of walking home. Yeah, that was a wild experience, which I never want to do again. So I get that end if you're an anti-snower. I get that part. Traffic sucks when it snows or when it rains or whenever it's, sometimes even on sunny days, traffic sucks in Atlanta, in Augusta. Augusta's traffic sucks in Augusta for a whole different reason, and that's just constant. But Atlanta traffic is just, we have way too many people, and they're all very angry. I don't understand why I've spent some time outside of the city, and you can just feel it in the air. Like there's just this, I don't even know the word. People are just happier. And you just feel the anger and animosity when you're in the city, driving around or trying to do errands or whatever. You can just feel everyone's grumpy and angry in the city, which sucks because Atlanta's a great place in a lot of ways, but that is not so great. So maybe that's why my friends are moving away. I'm still doing the nomadic life. It's been pretty sweet though. I'm staying with this very, very sweet family in Marietta in this like ridiculously beautiful home on a lake where I can sit out on the deck and watch the snowfall. It's really magical. I have the whole basement to myself. My best friend, Amanda, who you met last week if you watched the video, she was only 7 minutes away from me, so that was really awesome. She is currently in Wyoming, though, so that is less awesome for me. I had another friend's birthday on Wednesday, and then small group church thing on Thursday, and Tuesday I was hanging out with the same friends who keep trying to leave me. And Monday was Restore Your Heart. Tuesday was also Restore Your Heart. There's a lot going on in my nomadic life, which is probably why I'm nomadic right now. I have officially started the Restore Your Heart leadership training, so that's exciting. And I'll meet every 2 weeks. So this week was the first one of those. So my last day at the tax firm was Friday, not this Friday, but Friday a week ago. So I've been jobless / on vacation for the past week. I'm still like keeping very busy, so it doesn't really feel like I don't have a job, but I don't have a job right now. Trying to figure out what I want to do next. I really want to break from being in an office and stuck at a desk. I want to be able to move around. I'm actually thinking like dog walking or something like that, because yeah, I just want to be outside more and I want to be more active, and yeah, desk jobs doesn't really help in that area. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Working at a park would be amazing because I love parks. I found one of the things I did this week was found this really beautiful park. I found this really beautiful, beautiful park, walking trails. It has this big creek and a waterfall and a bridge to walk across, and it's even like it used to be a mill, so there's all these ruins, which I love some ruins. You always can get me with some ruins. So yeah, I found that Wednesday and it was really fun, and I spent like just hours walking around there. Then I went back to that same park on Friday after it had rained a whole lot, and it was a completely different place. It was outrageous. Just the creek was super high and super dramatic and just running very quickly, and the waterfall was just gushing, and almost it felt kind of dangerous standing next to it, which was cool. It was a cool little thrill. And just the places I went just 2 days before, I couldn't even get to half of them because they were just covered in water or completely overran by the creek. It was just crazy to see. Even the trails were different because a lot of them had gotten washed out in the rainfall. So it was just a completely different experience going back 2 days later. I love exploring like that. I love finding new things. I love being out with the trees. I love trees, you guys. I really love trees. And so if I can be out in the forest, I am all about that life. And I always wonder, so story time about me that I can't really remember, but I was told this my whole life growing up. When I was a toddler, probably around 2-ish, my father lost me in a forest, literally in the woods. He took me with him to go chop down some trees with a chainsaw, which, yeah, that sounds super appropriate place for a toddler to be. And while he was chainsawing, but sawing, I guess, what's the verb? of that. I don't know. While he was using the chainsaw on some trees and it was super loud, I wandered off with the dog and my dad couldn't find us. And so he actually jumped in his truck and headed back to where my mom and Nanny was. Nanny being my grandma, not like a paid person to take care of me, but my grandma, my nanny, to get them to help him look for me. And my dad jumped in the truck to go get help. And then he was halfway there and realized that he couldn't walk in and tell them that he had lost their baby. So he turned back around and found me and the dog standing on the side of the road, just hanging out. And yeah, all that to say, you would think I would be traumatized by getting lost in the woods and that I wouldn't want to spend all my time with the trees in the forest. And I'll tell you, most of the time when I'm wandering through the woods, I'm literally trying to get lost. Yeah, and it's still my favorite thing, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So I guess I wasn't traumatized by that experience as wild as it was. I still always want to be in the woods and wandering in a forest. Yesterday I had to run out pretty quickly. The party time got away from me and I ended up being 30 minutes to the party, 30 minutes late to the party anyway. So yeah, I really didn't have time to wrap up the video, and I was like, got halfway done with my makeup and realized I didn't really have much to talk about anymore. So I cut out all that rambly stuff anyway, and left you with the good bits and then an awkward ending. So this is me actually signing out, I guess. Thank you for listening to me ramble on to weird stories and updates about my life. Be sure to check out my poetry and conversations about that. I'll have another poem coming next week. Yeah, and then I need to get to writing more poems soon because I'm running low. Yeah, so have a great week. Like this video if you like it. Comment some weird story from me. Did your father lose you somewhere? Please let me know. If you share in that, were you traumatized by it, or is it now your favorite place to be? These are the important questions. So yeah, comment, share, subscribe would be nice. But yeah, just engage with me. Thank you for listening. Bye.